All right, today we're going to continue on with our assessment. Remember, this is the end of second year assessment, so basically it's like one question for every single thing that we've learned this year. So I'm going to read it to you, take it like you would a test, pick what you think is right, and then I'll go back through and remind you of what things are in case you've forgotten. So it's really good review to go over this, to remember these terms, so you're all ready for third grade next year. Guys, it's coming up. Okay, here we go. Grammar, usage, and mechanics. Read each item, fill in the correct answer. Which of these is a common noun? Remember, like common cat? Which one's a common noun? House, build, sturdy, soon. Remember, you can pause if I'm going too fast between questions. Which of these is a proper noun? Proper noun like proper Pete, these, far, country, Asia. Number 3, in which sentence is the underlined word correct? It should say, Dad baked 2 loaves of bread yesterday. So we want loaves as in 2 more than 1, right? One would be a loaf. If it's 2, it's loaves. So which one is it with an F and then an S? V-E-S, F-E-S, or F-I-E-S? Loaves. Which of these is an action verb? For, will, pull, over. Five. In which sentence is there a linking verb? All of us were really excited. The bus pulled into the parking lot. We climbed out of the bus. The guide told us about the ruins. Backside, you guys are halfway there, doing great. Remember to pause the video if I'm going a little bit too fast. 6, which of these sentences is correct? Okay, meaning 3 of these are wrong, only 1 of them is written the correct way. The driver slowed down so we can see everything. Small farms covers the hillsides. The road winds through some low hills. Tall trees grow on both sides of the road. Number 7. In which sentence is the subject underlined? So in these, you're looking for the subject. A sudden storm arrived late in the afternoon. A sudden storm arrived in the late afternoon. A sudden storm arrived late in the afternoon. A sudden storm arrived late in the afternoon. So which one is the subject? Is it sudden, arrived, storm, or late? Number 8. In which sentence is the predicate underlined? Heavy equipment removed the fallen tree from the ground. So all of these say the same sentence. Heavy equipment removed the fallen tree from the ground. Is the predicate removed, heavy, fallen, or equipment? Number 9. In which sentence are the subject and predicate underlined? Each class in the school chose a mascot and pet. So we're going to underline 2 things here. You're looking for the subject. You're looking for the predicate. So is the subject and predicate each chose, class chose, school mascot, or class school? That's a big one because you have to remember the subject and the predicate. And number 10, which of these is a complete sentence? Meaning that 3 of them are not complete sentences, only 1 of them actually is. So A, This song about 20 years ago by many people. B, this song was popular about 20 years ago. C, about 20 years ago, popular this song. D, was about 20 years ago by many people. Basically what it's asking you is every sentence needs a subject and a predicate. So it's asking which one has both of those, which one makes sense. Okay. I'm going to go over it. Now, if your brain is like, oh my gosh, Miss Reeves, well, that was a lot. It's okay, guys. It is a lot, and it's because this is what we've been working on for a while. And it's also harder because some of these concepts you actually learned just online with distance learning and not me in the classroom. So it might have been a little harder because we had a little less practice. So don't worry about it. I'm going to go over it. And you know what? You're going to get lots of review time next year too. The biggest thing you can do, honestly, biggest thing, is to just keep reading every day. If you're thinking like, Miss Reeves, what do I do at home? Like if some of these were confusing to me, if you read and especially read out loud so that you can hear yourself, that is honestly the biggest thing you can do to get your brain ready and make sure that the language is making sense. All right. Which of these is a common noun? Remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Common noun means it's not anyone's actual name. It's just a thing. So example, instead of saying Target, you would just say the store. So here we have house, which is a noun. Build, verb. Sturdy is an adjective that describes the noun. And soon, which is describing when something's happening. So it's another adjective. So the only noun I see here is house. It's a thing. Yay! Number 2, which of these is a proper noun? So that's a noun, person, place, thing, idea, that has a name. The name here is Asia. Asia is the title of a continent, and you can see it's capitalized. So that shows that it is a proper noun. Yay! We've been working on those for a little while, so hopefully you're like remembering this as we go, because that's something that we practiced a lot. Number 3, in which sentence is the underlined word correct? Okay, so one loaf of bread is spelled like this. This is where you're making it more than one. If it ends in an F, where it's actually, normally, you just add the S. But remember, sometimes like if it ends in an S, SS, Z, sometimes an F, you actually change it. You change the F to a V and add ES. Loaves. Which of these is an action verb? Remember, an action is something that you are doing. 4 is a number. Will, pull, over. Pull. What are you doing? You are pulling. That is an action verb. Number 5, in which sentence is there a linking verb? Okay, so a linking verb is something that pulls the two things together. So let's go through all the verbs, because every sentence has a verb, every single one, or it's not a sentence. All of us were really excited. The bus pulled into the parking lot. We climbed out of the bus. The guide told us about the ruins. Okay, so these are the verbs in every sentence. Normally our verb is an action verb, like pull. Okay, it's doing something. Like if we were playing Simon Says and I said sit, right? That would be the action verb. However, the linking verbs link two parts of the sentence together and it actually does not show action. Told is an action, climbed, and pulled are all action. The linking verb is were. It's not doing anything, but it's connecting what these two parts of this sentence, all of us were really excited. Telling how you felt. So were is our linking verb. All right, guys, halfway done. You're doing great. Number 6, which of these sentences is correct? Okay, so this is matching the subject to the predicate. Basically, it's like if I said, Miss Reeves reads, or Miss Reeves, or she likes to read. Read and reads changes if that S is on it or not. So we have the driver slow, small farms covers, the road wind, or tall trees grow. You want these two words to match. It's the subject and the predicate, what the subject is doing. So it should be the driver slows down. That should have an S on it. Small farms cover the hillside. That should not have the S. The road winds through some low hills. Tall trees grow on both sides of the road is correct. Multiple trees, so if it is plural, then this does not have an S. Number 7, in which sentence is the subject underlined? The subject is the thing that you're talking about. So what's the thing that we're talking about? A sudden storm arrived late in the afternoon. We're talking about a storm. So the subject is storm. All the subject means is, what are we talking about? Okay. If it was Samaria's birthday is tomorrow, we're talking about a birthday, right? So the subject is whatever we are talking about. Number 8. In which sentence is the predicate underlined? The predicate is telling what the subject is doing, okay? Very often it's the verb, it's what's happening to the subject. So here, the heavy equipment removed the fallen tree from the road. The subject we're talking about is equipment, okay? So this is what we're talking about. The subject is equipment. We want the predicate. What is the equipment doing, right? What's happening? The equipment removed. What their equipment is doing is removing the fallen trees. Hopefully you're starting to remember some things like, oh, this is something we learned way at the beginning of the year. So your brain is probably like, oh my gosh, right? We learned it a long time ago and it's just looping it back around because if we keep practicing and practicing and practicing, one day we're just going to remember it forever. It's going to be a good day. Number 9, in which sentence are the subject and the predicate underlined? So now we need the subject and the predicate. So it's each class in the school chose a mascot and pet. What are we talking about? We're talking about each class in the school that they chose something. So did the class choose it or did the school choose it? That's kind of what we're going back and forth. To me, it's that the class chose it. The class was in the school, right? The school describes the kind of class. So the subject would be talking about the class. So we actually have 2 sentences that underline class. Well, what did the class do, guys? The class didn't do school. The class didn't do a mascot. It didn't do each. The class chose. What the class did is choose. So our predicate would be choose. Our class chose. So which one? Here we go. B, the class. What did the class do? The class chose. That one was a big question because it was asking you to do a lot of things. And finally, number 10, which of these is a complete sentence? You need a subject and a predicate. So you need to be talking about something and then tell about what that thing. This song about 20 years ago by many people. The song what? So the subject is song, but it doesn't have a predicate. The song, okay, that doesn't, no. This song was popular about 20 years ago. Okay, the song, what was it? It was popular. Okay, that tells there's a subject and there's a predicate, so that's a possibility. About 20 years ago, popular this song. You need a linking verb. About 20 years ago, you could have, popular was this song was popular. If you flipped it, it would work, but that didn't really work. Was about 20 years ago by many people. What was? This is a predicate, but like the song was about 20, no. There's no subject. Okay, so the only one that works is this song was popular about 20 years ago. That one makes sense. Yay! Good job, guys. You did it.